Boston The Celtics finally got over the hump. After floundering right near the .500 mark for the entire season, they're climbing in the right direction. They even did so after vanquishing another one of their season-long woes in finishing the fourth quarter. While the Hornets erased an 11-point lead in the final minutes to tie the score, the Celtics scored the final 6 points in their 113-107 win Wednesday at TD Garden. You just keep your composure, guard Marcus Smart said of finishing the game. You calm everybody down and make sure we get the greatest show that we can, and you do it that way. You don't try to do it alone. You just take what the game gives you, and it's part of it. The victory puts Boston coach Ime Udoka's team at a season-best 3 games above .500 at 28-25. While there are 29 games remaining in the season, the 9th-place C's are just 5.5 games behind the first-place Bulls. That leaves the Celtics in arguably one of their most important upcoming stretches of games over the next week. Boston has 3 games ahead of the February 10 trade deadline, and all of them look promising. All 3 games are on the road, but against winnable opponents. The Celtics first take on the Pistons on Friday. While Detroit has perked up its play behind number 1 pick Cade Cunningham, that's still a game the Celtics should be favored in. Then it's the Magic on Sunday, arguably the worst team in the league. Both those games, if the Celtics take care of business, are there for the taking for a 5-game winning streak. The most intriguing contest, though, is the nationally televised Tuesday showdown against the Nets in Brooklyn. It's the final game before the trade deadline, meaning there's some extra juice there. While the Celtics soared in recent weeks, the Nets have floundered as they missed their all-star in Kevin Durant. They're also on a 6-game losing streak after falling to the Kings on Wednesday. Brooklyn plays at the Jazz and Nuggets on their West Coast swing. Both those games are tough and could add to the lengthy losing streak. Then Boston even gets a road field advantage. Ex-Celtic Kyrie Irving won't play in the game at the Barclays Center. New York City still has a vaccine mandate for indoor venues. The part-time Irving hasn't played a home game yet this season. Those factors add up to a crucial week for the Celtics, and just in time. Boston has won 10 of its past 14 games, and nothing fixes the vibes quite like victories. A lot of things we did early in the year that were hurting us, we cut down on, Smart said of the recent streak. The things that were helping us earlier in the year, we're starting to do more of it, and it's definitely showing itself. Not just to the crowd, to the fans, to the teams we play, but to ourselves. Everybody's confidence is going up, and everybody just continues to move on up. While the improved play is a nice sign, Boston president Brad Stevens isn't going to decide to make franchise-altering moves based on the next 3 games. As the first-year front office execute as mentioned, he's looking at it more from a 10,000-foot view instead of agonizing over every game, like when he was a coach. But the trade deadline is also an opportunity to bolster the roster and perhaps inject some life into it. There have been times when the Celtics have looked stagnant this year. While a major trade isn't likely, a smaller deal like moving Dennis Schroeder or another veteran can result in more minutes for one of the younger players. That could result in a nice change of pace and some chaotic good to boost the Celtics. The goal is to get under the luxury tax at the deadline, but it should be an intriguing week as the team's play surpasses expectations. Of course, while the Celtics still need to execute. That has been a problem this season where the C's don't take care of business against inferior teams, dooming them during unexpected losses. Falling to the likes of the Pistons or Magic could stunt some momentum, though it won't define the season. But it's also clear Boston looks like a different team of late. The defense is clamping down as one of the league's best units. Different Celtics have stepped up over the recent stretch. It was Smart's great play and Josh Richardson's shooting that stepped up Wednesday when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown otherwise struggled. Those two had 9, Tatum, and 6 assists, Brown, making the right play, and that's what it's gonna take some nights, Udoka said. It's not always going to be your night scoring when they're trying to stop you. But trust your teammates, make the right play and ice going when they're trying to